लाइमलाइट का एक्सक्लूसिव सॉलिटेयर ज्वेलरी कलेक्शन न सिर्फ इको फ्रेंडली है पर अफोर्डेबल भी। ये CVD डायमंड है, वर्ल्ड्स प्योरेस्ट डायमंड, मेड इन इंडिया। देखने जरूर आइए।
इतने डिसिप्लिन, इतने अच्छे, इतने डेडिकेटेड, इतनी हार्ड वर्किंग करने वाले बहुत कम लोग हैं। तो ये डायरेक्टरों की थोड़ी आदतें ख़राब भी हो सकती हैं। इनके साथ काम करने के बाद ऐसा लग सकता है लोगों को, अरे यार ये ऐसे क्यों नहीं है। तो ऐसा कोई हो नहीं सकता है जैसे विद्या जी है। विद्या जी बस।
Shobana is an amazing dancer. She's first a dancer and then an actor. So I was getting to do that and I said, okay, especially being a South Indian, people are going to compare. So I worked hard and I danced alongside Vineet, who Shobana and Vineet are actually cousins. And Vineet has trained from the age of 4.
She was not a classical dancer, but the kind of effort she put 1 month to learn it is something I really said hats off to her.
So Madhuri was the beginning. Then there was Shabana Azmi. I said, wow, she was an actress whose roles had agency on screen. So I said, okay, I want to play roles like her.
But let's play a surprise message.
My dear Vidya, you know how highly I regard you, both as an actor and as a human being. I feel an actor's resource base must come from life itself, and I find you very rooted. Send you lots and lots of love, ढेर सारा प्यार और बहुत बहुत दुआएं.
I call her Vidya Di because I get a very, very warm, sisterly vibe from her. And she's the one person in the industry. I don't know how we met. I've obviously watched a lot of her work and I appreciate her work, and she's such a fine actor.
She would not gossip, she would not indulge in loose talk, nothing. And we've like she said, there was an instant connection.
I feel so proud to be a small part of your incredible journey, and right from Parineeta to Bobby Jasus to Lage Rao Munna Bhai.
We were shooting for Parineeta and she developed a sty on her eye. And I remember as a kid when I had a sty, my mother said, garam chawal lo ek kapde mein aur phir aankh pe dal do. So I told her, we were shooting the next day, so I said, wo aise karo, theek ho jayega. It became worse. And I'll never forget, she had to do the scene with sunglasses the next day. I was feeling so bad. Thank you. This is I'm getting more and more and more emotional today.
Presenting Vidya Balan into Limelight Diamonds presents Galatta India Fans Festival. Thank you. By the way, guys, Bhool Bhulaiyaa 3 aa rahi hai, and somebody.
Yes, is Diwali hopefully Bhool Bhulaiyaa wali?
Hopefully nahi, definitely Bhool Bhulaiyaa wali. Listen, Manjulika is back.
Oh,
OG! Why? I spoke to Anees sir, and I had spoken, I'm like, because Murad Bhai was producing it and Murad Bhai is like family. When Bhool Bhulaiyaa 2 was being planned, it was being planned keeping you in mind. Let me tell you that they were planning, but it didn't work out, whatever. But Bhool Bhulaiyaa 3, when it came to you and you were back as Manjulika, what was the first reaction? Because this is, I think, nobody could have done Manjulika the way you have done.
Oh, thank you. I love you for saying that. But I think it's just a matter of timing. They came to me. I loved the script. And I had not said anything I had not said yes to anything for almost 2 years. Because I was just not enjoying the kind of scripts that were coming my way. Everything felt like a rehash of the same thing I wanted to do. And I think the pandemic changed a lot for us, right? I feel कि anyway इतनी जद्दोजहद है life में. अब फिल्मों में तो बस मज़ा ही मज़ा होना चाहिए. I think something changed in me. As an audience, I've always liked the masala films. I think as an actor, I started opening myself up to that after the pandemic. And I was waiting कि कब इस तरह का कोई मतलब मज़ेदार स्क्रिप्ट आई और मुझे तुरंत अच्छी लग गई. And I said yes. And before I knew it, I was on set. And before we know it, it's going to release this Diwali. So it's just been... Thank you. And I think Anees Bhai, you know, I've enjoyed his films. When you watch his films, you just feel like, yaar, सारा tension आप भूल जाते हो. I like his conviction. I like the masala, everything about it, right? Their comedies, it makes you laugh. You're like literally holding your stomach and laughing. And he knows how to entertain. I feel he is entertainment. So, so I feel that script with the combination of Anees Bhai was what clinched it for me.
I have to tell you that this is not an interview. I always tell them and tell every actor who does it, because I really want to do it for people who have inspired me and who I have looked up to forever. And you know that you're one of them. From my Kolkata days till today, I always look forward to meeting you and doing a conversation with you, because there are very few who actually have real conversations the way you do today. When you speak about Anees Bhai, of course, it's an event. So there are a lot of surprises being planned for you. So the first surprise is here for you.
Who doesn't want to work with Vidya ji? Vidya ji is such a brilliant actress and she is such a wonderful human being. And मतलब मैं आपको बताऊं कि उनके साथ काम करने की वजह से आदतें आपकी ख़राब भी हो सकती है कि यार इतने डिसिप्लिन, इतने अच्छे, इतने डेडिकेटेड, इतनी हार्ड वर्किंग करने वाले बहुत कम लोग हैं. तो ये डायरेक्टरों की थोड़ी आदतें ख़राब भी हो सकती हैं. इनके साथ काम करने के बाद ऐसा लग सकता है लोगों को, अरे यार ये ऐसे क्यों नहीं है. तो ऐसा कोई हो नहीं सकता है जैसे विद्या जी हैं. विद्या जी बस वो एक, जैसे मैंने नो एंट्री में एक डायलॉग लिखा था कि ऊपर वाले ने जो है एक ढांचा बनाया था एक और उसके बाद तोड़ दिया. तो वो अपने आप में एक कंप्लीट एक्टर हैं और बहुत ही अच्छा काम करती हैं. उनको मतलब कुछ अपनी तरफ से नहीं बोलना है, वो पूरा वो हार्ड वर्क इतना करेंगे कि आपको एक फील ही होगा सेट पे कि यार इन्होंने कितना मेहनत किया है, कितना काम किया है. उनका प्यार भी है यार, और वो पूरी फिल्म के अंदर फील हुआ है कि जिस तरह उन्होंने काम किया है, जो तैयारियां की है. एंड आई फील कि यार कोई भी डायरेक्टर काम उनके साथ करे, मतलब उनके लिए लकी बात है कि ऐसे लोग मिल सकते हैं. मतलब आई वॉज वेरी इमोशनल जिस दिन फिल्म ख़त्म हो रही थी ना. मुझे ऐसा लग रहा था पता नहीं यार विद्या जी के साथ कब मुलाकात होगी. तो एक वो जो 30-40-50 दिन की जो जर्नी थी वो इतनी अच्छी गुजरी है कि वो बरसों याद रहेगी वो जर्नी.
How sweet! I'm really touched because I really enjoyed working with Anees Bhai and share a beautiful equation with him on set. उनके साथ ना माहौल बहुत अच्छा होता है सेट पे. सबसे प्यार से काम करवाते हैं. You won't even realize that you're working. And he would regale me with stories. मैं जाके तैयार हो जाती तो मैं सेट पे बैठ जाती थी. And sometimes he would also send a message saying, shot तैयार नहीं है पर आप तैयार हो तो आ जाओ. And we would sit and talk on set. I've learned so much from him. He's worked across departments in the film industry. He's even done, he's worked in the art department, in sound, in editing. He's been a writer, an assistant director, a child actor, and then now such an accomplished director and, such a successful director, and yet the mad passion. I don't know how he keeps it alive. He's also a great actor. I would keep telling the making guy, I would say, हम सबको छोड़ दो, कैमरा सिर्फ उन पे लगाओ. Because he would enact scenes and it would be like his eyes sparkle when he does a scene. It would be so amazing. I love the man. God bless him. And I hope I get another opportunity to work with him soon.
Bhool Bhulaiyaa 4, 5, 6, 7, 50! 50 तक हम nobody can be Manjulika. Were you expecting that? Because the kind of response, everybody missed you in Bhool Bhulaiyaa too. And now that you're back, I genuinely feel it's the best of all the worlds merging together to create art.
I don't know, I was just excited when I read the scene. You know that, acha, this is almost like a hark back to the Bhool Bhulaiyaa I did. So it was, and when you see the scene in the film, it's fully justified. You know, so it was fun and, you know, it's the same and yet it's different. Absolutely. You know what I mean? I've done this before and yet this is me 17 years later. So even though it's Monjulika being played by me, it's still not the same Monjulika. That's what I love as an actor, you know, कि हर बार कुछ क्योंकि एक अलग स्क्रिप्ट पे एक अलग डायरेक्टर के साथ मैंने इस पे काम किया तो उसका बहुत ही अलग ट्रीटमेंट रहा है. You know, so I was after the first take, I remember that everyone clapped, I think, more than anything else because it was a hark back to the original Bhool Bhulaiyaa. And I was like, oh, wow, you know. But it was a very kind set. They would keep encouraging us from time to time. They would keep applauding and everything. So it was great fun.
When you speak about the original Bhool Bhulaiyaa, what was the experience of working with Priyan sir? Because it was a psychological thriller then. Now the genre has shifted. Although the world
comedy.
is the world is similar, but the genre has completely shifted. The characters might be similar or may not be similar. We'll get to know. But how was it working with Priyan sir then? Because that I feel was one of those characters early on in your career where you just broke the glass ceiling for women at large. And can we have a round of applause for that?
Thank you. I think Priyan sir is an amazing director. I've said this before. I enjoyed working with him. Pata hi nahi chala. I remember when I went to meet him, he said, "You've seen Mani Chitratar," which was the original Malayalam film. I said, "Yes, I've seen it." He said, "Now you will not watch it." I was like, "Okay." He said, "Because I want you to approach it with a very fresh perspective. Only thing, do you dance?" I said, "No, I don't." He said, "Then you start practicing. You know, I want you to do Bharatnatyam." So in between, I was working a lot. I was doing 6 films at one time. But whenever I got time, I was training in Bharatnatyam a little bit because I didn't know. See, Shobana is an amazing dancer. She's first a dancer and then an actor. So I was getting to do that and I said, okay, especially being a South Indian, people are going to compare. So I worked hard and I danced alongside Vineet. Shobana and Vineet are actually cousins. And Vineet has trained from the age of 4. So he was very supportive and helpful also during the rehearsal leading up to once the choreography was ready. But that's the only preparation I put in. On set, I would not know what scene we're going to shoot the next day and all. As in the previous day, you'd get to know कि कल क्या shoot हो रहा है, but you didn't really get a schedule. And I think that worked. You know, so I approached every scene with, अच्छा आज क्या हो रहा है, अच्छा अभी ये करना है. And Priyan sir doesn't even really, he knows how to get work out of people. He knows how to get performances out of his actors. He doesn't over-direct or anything. So it was fun and we shot it like this. It was in record time, extremely disciplined unit. We would be ready at 9 o'clock. We would finish at 6 o'clock. He doesn't like night shoots. One day we were told the climax was being shot at night. So I said, I thought, I'd done all this all-night shoot and all. At 11 o'clock, he said, pack up. I was like, why? What happened? I thought there was a problem. He said, no, it's night. No, now. I was like, he would, on a night shoot, he would shoot from 7 to 11. That's it. He would not. So it was always very easy, because we need our sleep, we need food on time, we need all that, especially if your face is going to show. And what's amazing is that he also made very entertaining films. But the grammar is very different from Anees Bhai's.
Absolutely.
So I feel like so fortunate that I got to do 2 Bhool Bhulaiyas. I've gotten to do 2 Bhool Bhulaiyas with very entertaining but very different directors. Directors who tell their stories very differently. There's a sensibility difference in them. But how can this get any better? I've enjoyed the best of both.
But guys, it will get better because it's called the Galatta India Fans Festival for a reason.
Yeah.
Let's play another message from somebody special.
Talking about Vidya, I mean, always feel that I never felt that I was working with a actress or a actor because I felt that I'm working with somebody from my family. So, like nowadays, I work with my daughters. Similarly, I said, okay, she is a part of the family, and I've never, the most beautiful thing is she completely trusted me. And I still remember even after some shots, she comes in. Each time she used to come and say, "Sir, my hair is correct, my look is correct." And I really appreciate one thing about her dedication. You know why? She was not a classical dancer, but the kind of effort she put 1 month to learn it is something I really said hats off to her. So this is very rarely you see such kind of commitments on big artists. So I mean, I really say that okay, there are in 97 films I have completed in my career, and there are very few people you remember and you feel like working again. That is one of them is Vidya.
Thank you, Noyon. You've made this so special. I spoke to Priyan sir earlier today, but I had no idea about this message. And yes, we've been trying to work together since Bhool Bhulaiyaa. It hasn't happened, but hopefully soon. I absolutely love him. I adore him, so the feeling is mutual. But thank you. This is I'm getting more and more and more emotional today.
There's a lot more that we have for you, but I want to tell you that he is actually not well.
I know because I spoke to him today, and he's had a back issue.
Yeah.
He's
on
been
bed
asked
rest.
to take bed rest for 20 days.
But he was like, no, it's for Vidya. Just call me. I would say it over a call.
So
I said,
sweet.
Thank you so much, sir. And but there's a part that I didn't put it here. Now that you've said it, so I should ask, no, guys. अब आप लोगों के सामने कुछ तो exclusivity होनी चाहिए. आपने बोला कि आपको काम करना है उनके साथ. उन्होंने बोला उनको काम करना है. मैंने पूछा उनको. I thought it's not a message anymore. I thought it's an interview. मैंने बोला, सर आपने काम नहीं किया. आप काम कब करने वाले हो उनके साथ वापस? He's like, मेरे पास है एक स्क्रिप्ट. मैंने बोला है. हो जाएगा वो मुझे लग रहा है. हम दोनों साथ में काम करेंगे. बहुत
Fingers crossed. I won't say anything more, but I'll say yes. Just wait and watch.
But you know, I want to ask you this. Who were your major inspirations when you look at like films? Who was it like you looked at and you felt like, you know, I love their filmography so much that I wish someday people look at me in that space?
So Madhuri was the beginning. Then there was Shabana Azmi. I said, wow, she was an actress whose roles had agency on screen. So I said, okay, I want to play roles like her. And then there were lots of actors whose performances have inspired me, male and female. But I think then Sridevi, I feel like Sridevi is a complete package. I worship her. God bless her soul. You know. So I feel like Shabana Azmi and Sridevi ka mishran would be the ideal. I think these are my role models. Lots of performances of lots of actors over time, but also the way Mr. Bachchan has conducted himself through his career, not just him as an actor, whom we all love, right? But the dignity with which, how he's learned to just stay silent through the troughs and peaks of his career and his life. Again, God bless him. He's someone who inspires me immensely.
But Sanchita and I and everybody will agree that I am possibly your biggest fan. You know why? Because guys, you don't know what the flow of the show is. But let's play a surprise message.
My dear Vidya, you know how highly I regard you, both as an actor and as a human being. I feel an actor's resource base must come from life itself, and I find you very rooted. I find that you're You're curious, you're observant, you're ready to learn. Thankfully, you haven't started believing in your own myth, in spite of having achieved so much acclaim as an actor of great credibility. Your versatility, your ability to immerse yourself completely in inhabiting the role of the character you're performing is really, really beautiful, because in life I see that you are a strong woman, but I've seen you in different roles. I've seen how vulnerable and soft you can also look on screen, and that's great. In today's world, when diction and voice is disregarded with such impunity, I cannot tell you how your voice and your diction falls like music on my ears. I can go on and on about you, darling, but suffice it to say that I love you very much. I send you lots and lots of love, ढेर सारा प्यार और बहुत बहुत दुआएं.
I really don't know what to say. Now I have to give you a hug. Thank you. You know,
Anything for you.
You know, today is so special because just before I came here, I had the opportunity to do a masterclass with Shabana ji for Mami, where I got to ask her questions. I never thought I would get such an opportunity, and I did. And then I get this message from her. She's an actor I deeply admire, so thank you. And her words, I need all these clips, please.
I am just so happy to see you happy, because the whole idea of this show is to tell actors in a world full of negativity that you are loved, you are valued, and genuinely you are wanted. And that's what we want to
thank
tell
you.
you.
That means the world to me. Thank you. Really, that's the best feeling. You know, when you feel loved, there's no better feeling than that.
But you know,
and appreciated, and thank you.
For you, you've grown up idolizing her. Today, she genuinely considers you like her daughter, like a daughter almost. And you will not believe, I have to say this, thank you, Shabana ma'am. You know, she has said, how do you want the video? I don't know how to shoot the video, but can I just, I'm like, yeah, ma'am, whatever you do, it will make the most meaning to her. And she has sent it to me within 10 minutes.
Wow. Wow. I'm so humbled. I have no words. You know, she's given me so much love, been so generous with me. I'll always be, I fall short of words actually. I don't know what to say. I'm smiling. My heart is smiling and crying at the same time.
You know, when you talk about women, you have been a staunch supporter. You have been a girl's girl. And not just a girl's girl, you've supported men, women, kids, and loved them equally. But women need that love. At that point, today, people are talking so much about, you know, women are doing so great, women are getting more respect. You are at the cusp of that change, right? I remember this conversation that Ratna Pathak Shah ma'am did in an interview, and she said that, you know, आज लोग बोलते हैं कि अरे औरतें इतना क्यों ये करती है. औरतों को उन्होंने एक बहुत अच्छी चीज़ बोली जो मैं भी बोलता हूँ लोगों को कि you might have people who have a problem with feminism, they have a problem with women's voices today, but they have to also understand that women's voices today are louder and more prominent because they have been curbed for so many decades.
They've been unheard for so many. Yeah, absolutely. I think it's true. It's the cumulative anger, the frustration, the resentment, the fear, all of that of women before us that have fueled us to reach here and go out and do what we do, be who we are. It is thanks to all the women that came before us, even those that didn't fulfill their own dreams.
Yeah.
Or
Absolutely.
rather, particularly those who didn't fulfill their own dreams, who didn't even know they could.
Yeah. And when we speak about women power, I don't know how many of you were there when we did that Sonakshi Sinha Fans Festival. And Vidya ma'am was one of the first people. Again, like Shabana ma'am, Vidya ma'am was one of the first people who gave me a video, an audio message for Sonakshi. And let's be honest, that Sonakshi was the first one who saw it and told me, I am giving a video message for her.
Oh.
So, well, we have a message from Sonakshi.
Hi everyone, you are fans of Vidya Balan and that's why y'all are here today and that is why I am also here today. I call her Vidya Di because I get a very, very warm, sisterly vibe from her and she's the one person in the industry, I don't know how we met. I've obviously watched a lot of her work and I appreciate her work and she's such a fine actor. She's so inspirational. I mean, as an actor yourself, you feel like doing better by just watching her. But I'm a bigger fan of the person that she is. She's the warmest person I know and like I was saying, I don't know how exactly where we first met, but since we've met, there's just been some connection really, and every time I do something good on screen or she loves my work or she thinks I've done a good job in this, she's the only person in the industry who actually picks up the phone and calls me to tell me that. And I cannot tell you how encouraging it is and it just makes me feel so good about myself. So thank you Vidya Di for being who you are, for being the person that you are. You've really made a difference to my life. You might not even know it, but I always hold you very, very close to my heart and I think of you very often. And I love the times that we end up meeting and I get to interact with you and speak to you and you're just fantastic. So keep inspiring and just keep being the way you are. And oh, what a smile. Yeah.
You know, I always say this, that she's one of the nicest people in the business. I had said this even in my byte, because we've done a film called Mission Mangal together, and वो चुपचाप takes के बीच में चुपचाप बैठी रहती थी. She's very talented, so she used to keep sketching something on the other. She would not gossip, she would not indulge in loose talk, nothing. And we've like she said, there was an instant connection. I think she's a fabulous dancer. In Hira Mandi last I saw her do Tilasmi, So Tilasmi Bahe. So I called her after that because she's so effortless when it comes to dancing and she's a lovely actor and I'm so happy that she's found happiness in life. God bless them both. And you can tell that I'm in a very, very overwhelmed state of mind today because I'm constantly saying, God bless, God bless, God bless, and God bless you all for being here and showing me so much love. Thank you.
And before we move on to the fans adda with you guys, I have to ask you one thing that, you know, आप लोगों ने notice किया ना आजकल बोलते हैं कि dressing up for the promotions, मतलब एकदम playing the character for promotions and all of that. It's become a thing, guys. Like it's become a thing in Hollywood, it's become a thing in Bollywood as well. And a lot of people have these posts, right? Ki, look at this, you get to know that he or she is promoting that film because of how they are dressing up, right? They're dressing up the part. I remember you had worn that pregnant belly through and through. Like all the city, and I think you've done that throughout, no? Dirty Picture, this, and now also, like I can see.
Yeah, I'm only wearing black for the promotions of Monjulika because Monjulika. But you know, I feel like when I started doing the so-called female-led films, how do I grab eyeballs? Because people were not going to the theatre to watch these films. So I started using these tactics and I have to say my inspiration was was Aamir Khan in, it was not Three Idiots, it was Three Idiots.
Where he went to Saurav Ganguly's house dressed up as something.
Yes, you know, and that's where I got the idea and I said, okay, if I go dressed up as a character, then you know, people will at least wonder क्या है, फिर बोलेंगे अच्छा फिल्म के लिए, कौन सी फिल्म के लिए, तो शायद फिर उनको their interest will get kindled और वो theatre में आएंगे. So that was actually just an attention seeking tactic for the female led films and it worked beautifully. The films were good, that's why they worked, but I'm saying, you know, I remember for the Dirty Picture I was saying whatever you wanted me to say just to shock and sensationalize so that I could grab your attention for the film, not for myself. And I'm glad that it's worked, and I love this. Also, now I have a great stylist team who wore what when. They get me great clothes from the best designers and weavers, saris from weavers across the country. Yeah, and we work together for almost 10 years now. They do a great job, so I'm just sitting and saying, Acha, this one. Okay, that one. It's easy.
And before we move on, because you're a woman's woman and a girl's girl, there is a message from another friend, and that would be another surprise for you.
Vidya, I'm so, so proud of you for everything that you stand for the extraordinary body of work you've created. I feel so proud to be a small part of your incredible journey. And right from Parineeta to Bobby Jasus to Lage Rao Munna Bhai to the very many incredible moments we've shared in between as friends, and most importantly, as your admirer. I am so grateful to witness your journey, your extraordinary transformations, and this legacy that you're creating for yourself. I'm grateful and so proud of you. Love you.
Love you too.
So many movies together.
Yeah, we've done Parineeta, Lage Raho Munna Bhai, and then Bobby Jasus, where she was my producer. So it's just amazing. I don't know how she's always so gentle, so loving. And now I see her as a mother, and it's just amazing. So I've seen various avatars of her as an actor, as an activist, as a producer, and now as a mother, wife, and mother. It's unbelievable. She makes everything look like effortless. I have lots of memories with her. I have to share one with you. Okay, we were shooting for Parineeta and she developed a sty on her eye. And I remember as a kid when I had a sty, my mother said, गरम चावल लो एक कपड़े में और फिर आँख पे डाल दो. So I told her, we were shooting the next day, so I said, वो ऐसे करो ठीक हो जाएगा. It became worse. And I'll never forget, she had to do the scene with sunglasses the next day. I was feeling so bad. उसके बाद मैंने unsolicited advice देना बंद कर दिया किसी को. But she never brought it up. She was too sweet.
How sweet.
And she's really one of the most gorgeous people to look
Yeah.
at, and so natural. She doesn't need any makeup. She's always in great shape. I think.
And you can endlessly listen to her. When
Yeah.
Diya speaks, you can just sit and listen. Again, somebody with a really gentle and kind heart, actually. And everybody, I always say this, that a lot of people today, unfortunately, ये ऐसे कुछ एप्स है जहाँ पे इतना नेगेटिविटी फैलाया जाता है अबाउट द इंडस्ट्री कि यहाँ पे सब एक दूसरे को काटने को दौड़ रहे हैं. बट नो, देयर इज सो मच यूनिटी, देयर इज सो मच लव, एंड दैट्स द ओनली
मैं
रीजन.
बताऊं, लोग कहते हैं कि दो मजहबों के बीच टकरार होती है, दो देशों के बीच टकरार होती है. ये सब कुछ लोगों का खेल है.
दैट्स ट्रू.
लाइक एक्ट्रेसेस के बीच टकरार होती है, ये कुछ लोगों की धारणा है. हम सब एक हैं.
So, when I began, I said that this is extremely special to me because of what you have always done for me, what you've messaged me. It's not just Sonakshi who gets a message. If I do something right, if I do something wrong, I get a message from you, and you've always been the most encouraging. And I think everybody here would feel the same kind of vibe. And honestly, this show was always in our heart to make people feel loved. And I know that you do, but at the same time, I just hope that there are more people like you, and there is more in the breed where, despite being celebrities, there is a human side, and you look at everybody else, no matter who they are, as humans. Because eventually cinema theater में जब आप जाते हो तो आपको पता नहीं होता कि आपके बाजू में कौन बैठता है, आप decide भी नहीं कर पाते. It's such a leveler, and to many more people who are levelers in their own life, just like Vidya Balan.
Oh, thank you so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And again, I can't thank you enough, Nayan, for this special interaction. and which you've been wanting to do for almost a year. And then for all the bites you got, for all the effort you and your team have put in. And I'm just so overwhelmed with gratitude. Thank you. Love you forever. All the best.
Thank you.
And I just, one last thing I want to say. You were talking about the humanity of actors. I want to say that let's all remember that they are also human beings with feelings. You know? Often we forget that. And to the best audience ever, hip hip! Hip hip! Hip hip crazy!
लाइमलाइट का एक्सक्लूसिव सॉलिटेयर ज्वेलरी कलेक्शन न सिर्फ इको फ्रेंडली है पर अफोर्डेबल भी। ये सीवीडी डायमंड है वर्ल्ड्स प्योरेस्ट डायमंड, मेड इन इंडिया। देखने जरूर आइए।